Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, January 18th, 2024. We're in the last couple days of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting, and the theme of this year's meeting has been Rebuilding Trust. Now, I don't have any interest in what agendas they try to make us follow, and I'm no fan of the World Economic Forum. I'll be very candid about that. But one of my viewers and his wife, who have become good friends of mine, sent me an email and gave me permission to explore this topic with you that they found interesting about the fact that the theme for this year was Rebuilding Trust. Let me take you to a share screen, which will show you the World Economic Forum site and where their basic theme is being announced. And then the speculation that my friend Steve and his wife Kristi had, and we'll do a tarot reading and see what the cards want to tell us. 1 second while I go to that share screen. Okay, as you can see at weforum.org, this is their the World Economic Forum's main page. And down here, Davos 2024, Rebuilding Trust. Could this be the year for resolution and recovery? So that's their overarching theme. Now, here was the speculation that my friend Steve had. He said, I noticed the meeting of the WEF's Davos meeting coming up next week is Rebuilding Trust. 80% of humanity does not know that they exist, and the 20% that do will never trust them. So the Rebuilding Trust must be all about getting their own group of stakeholders to trust each other again. There must be disorder in the ranks of the stakeholders. Just how long can psychopath lizard people hold a common goal together when each one wants to become lizard king? To become king, one must kill off their buddy who desires to be king too, or else make an uneasy alliance with them. Anyway, his question was, is the WEF dealing with internal trust issues, okay, from their stakeholders? And I thought, you know what, with the little nudges we're getting, even via the mainstream, that change is happening, that cleanups are happening, that it's actually the 17 groups, nothing can stop what is coming, that's coming to fruition. We have a group that considered themselves untouchable. We have a group that thought their stranglehold on humanity was foolproof. We have a group that thought they could never be called out or have their, even a smidgen of their true plans and agendas understood and even talked about. And now all of that's happening. Not to mention that there's been some infiltration in their ranks, and those people have done, or intelligences have done their job of sowing some quiet discord. Not to mention the fact that there's been some out and out departures from within their ranks that they never thought would happen. There's been some people that have discovered to their dismay that the protection and impunity that they had been promised could not be and would not be given to them. So I think the thought that the parasites, I won't call them elites unless they're, delusional elites, the parasites in the World Economic Forum and those that are their puppet masters, I think they might truly be dealing with some discord, with some trust issues within their ranks. And I think that's a huge, wonderful topic to explore with the tarot cards. So let's do that, shall we? I'm going to move a cat. Alieska is staying close by. Our household has been reduced by one member. Chloe transitioned yesterday. And so Alieska is, when she's not looking for her friend, she is hanging close, and she's on the tarot table, getting some good energy and donating some. So we'll move her, work with the cards, and see what they have to say about this question. Is the World Economic Forum dealing with trust issues within their own stakeholder ranks? Let's find out. Okay, let's find out what the universe wants us to know about this question. is the World Economic Forum dealing with some discord and trust issues within the ranks. Okay, our first card is the Nine of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Eight of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, lots of pages coming up, the Chariot, the Emperor. Okay, now so far in the read, we have not got a hard yes. We do have some interesting information, and I'll share what I'm getting intuitively and show you the elements, the cards that caused me to say that. 1 second while I deal with that glare. Okay, there are disputes happening. We can see that in these cards even without the hard yes of an ace, and that is because if you notice, I mentioned the multiple pages. According to the weight philosophy, and I use Rider-Waite cards, the presence of 3 pages in a reading indicates discord and disputes. So we have it both in the current and in the near future spot. 3 pages working together give a little more insights than the cards by themselves do. So that's really interesting. Now, the Nine of Pentacles indicates the situation and our question both. And it's interesting that they're wanting the appearance of just being very wealthy people with only wanting the best for the world, but there is a lot of power struggles that's going on within their ranks. Absolutely. And part of the reason why in the recent past they've apparently lost some. Now they may have a stand-in in there, but they've lost some of their membership, and who have either defected or been made to defect from their ranks, and that caught them by surprise. I really do see that there's some surprise in there. Now, the first one that shows up is in the current position, or and it is the first one, but it's also the first page. And this page usually symbolizes some white hat or alliance action going on. It's informally one of my white hat cards, and the Wands suit for the page also has a discovery and cautious optimism. So the white hats are cautiously optimistic that this discord and the disputes that are showing up in the cards is kind of like not just a cracking of the veneer, but a cracking of the foundation upon which they were trying to work. And it looks like moving forward, there's going to be some moving and shaking within their ranks. The Chariot indicates that. The Page of Cups says, talks about a pleasant surprise. Now, I can't tell you right now. I think the pleasant surprise is going to be for those of us that are aware of the World Economic Forum and do not trust it, never will, because on both sides of this, we've got the Chariot, we've got 2 major arcanas. The Chariot talks about often shows up when there's moves going to happen and some changes. And then the ultimate white hat card here is showing up for the Emperor. Okay, so this isn't the leadership of the World Economic Forum, but this is our White Hat Alliance, a supreme membership card. So yeah, they've got disputes and stuff. They've got trust issues among the ranks. They've had some defections, and they've had some desertions, and they've had some apprehensions. That's kind of interesting. Let's get a few more cards and see what else the universe wants us to know. I'm chuckling because the Death card shows up right by the Moon card. Boy, it's not looking good for the World Economic Forum, and I am not sad. Then we have the 4 Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, now the Death card typically doesn't talk about death, but it talks about a long, slow change. All right, the Moon card does often indicate lies, deceit, and death. So there's change that's not having a positive outcome for the WEF in their near future as things change, and it's kind of overseen and nudged along by the White Hats and the Alliance. So this is a world domination group that just hasn't been able to whitewash themselves to the extent that they wanted and gotten the trust, and they've even lost it amongst their ranks. because they found out, again, that they don't have the immunity and the impunity that they had been promised and expected. The Four of Cups shows up here to just tell us that there's going to be some events that are obvious, and there's some more that if we just put a little thought or broaden our horizons to look at, we're going to be able to see a little more truth involving the WEF going forward. The final card was Queen of Pentacles, and this is a card of satisfaction and tranquility. So we're going to be satisfied with what we see happen to the WEF, even though some of it's going to happen behind closed doors. Some of it's going to be really obvious. So let's recap. My friends, Steve and Kristi, were curious about the World Economic Forum's annual meeting agenda this year, which is based on a premise of rebuilding trust. They had a very, very intelligent question about that, wondering if the trust actually that needs to be rebuilt was within the ranks among the stakeholders of the World Economic Forum. Because as my friend Steve said, 80% of the world doesn't know about the World Economic Forum, and the other 20% that do know will never trust them no matter what they do. And it does seem, as I've been watching their things roll out, that they're not really trying to rebuild humanity's trust. So the question was, are there trust issues within the ranks? Is that what's going on? Are there behind doors disputes and discord and unhappiness, and maybe not quite the, again, the impunity and immunity of consequences that they thought there were for their actions? Well, the dispute part was undeniably confirmed, because we had, within the first 7 cards, we had 3 of them were pages. And when 3 pages show up in a tarot reading, it indicates disputes and discords among people that tend to not have a really mature energy. And think about it, even though these stakeholders may be billionaires, that doesn't make them mature. Just the fact that they want this power over others, to me, tends to speak to a lack of maturity. And so that's confirmed with these pages that showed up. And again, confirming the dispute part of the hypothesis. Now, the interesting hypothesis, I had to chuckle because we're right by each other. Things are not looking good for the World Economic Forum. One side by side, the Death and the Moon card came up. Neither one very happy. This one indicates some long, slow changes, and this one says that the outcome is going to be one of loss and endings. So, with a few lies thrown in the mix. So not looking good for them. And oh gee, I'm having a little trouble getting sympathetic, aren't you? The Emperor showed up as also being present in their near future. And this is our top White Hat Alliance card, working closely with the Hermit, which is divine energy. And yeah, so nothing can stop what is coming. And even though the World Economic Forum and other self-declared elite and leadership types are saying that they know what's best, and we just need to, own nothing and be happy, and all the rest of that BS that they have been spouting, it's not getting accepted, absorbed, and entered into the collective consciousness and accepted. And so good for us who are aware of what those beings truly are, what their agendas really are. And we said, no, thank you. We do not consent, not on our timeline, not anything we're going to give positive energy towards, but no, thank you. So continue saying that, no, thank you. Continue saying you don't consent to give away any of your autonomy or any more of your rights, especially to self-declared leadership types at something like these forums, even if they're billionaires. Okay, the fact is, and some of them aren't, we have shockingly and kind of, for me, saddeningly, we have like some of our senior senators that go over and take part in that and try to rub elbows and make deals and move up the ranks. And it's sad. It really is. So let's continue, those of us boots on the ground, saying, no, we don't consent. No, not in this timeline. No, not in what we want to make manifest for our world. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and your attention and everything you've done. And for those of you that have spent the last few weeks as Chloe was in decline, sending love and light to her and to I and to Allie, I do appreciate it. And that chapter's kind of closing. And it was a good chapter, over 17 years. So again, I thank you. And I will see you Sunday when we do a meditation for others of our animal friends and earth inhabitants. And let's send them all love and light, because all of them could use it. Until next time, and remember, my love and light is the good kind. The love comes from our loving creator, just kind of conduit it. I'm a conduit for it, just allowing myself to offer it to you. And the light is because our world is changing from dark to light, and we claim the light and we love it. And we're going to spread it to the best of our ability within our own small circles. So love and light and everything bright. Bye.